So, guys, this is a video of why the sub, according to me, is the best watch ever. So, most of the people, I got into watches uh, in 2015. I always liked watches. As a kid, when I used to see Wimbledon, and I used to see the Rolex crown, Rolex logo. So that got me interested into Rolex watches and why are they so popular and why are they. I started, reading about Rolex watches. Why are they uh, so expensive, and the reasons they are so expensive. Started reading about how well made they are, and how iconic they are, and why so many sports people and enthusiasts, they own a Rolex. So that got me into Rolex watches. I was able to buy my first Rolex when I turned 30 in 2015, and since then I've been uh, reading a lot and researching about Rolex watches. So um, after handling many Rolex watches, after handling other brands like Omega, then um, Oris and Rado, and a lot of models in the Rolex watch company, which is the Oyster Perpetuals, the Submariners, GMTs, and after handling a lot of watches, and I'm also in the watch trading business, so I do get a lot of watches, a lot of Cartiers, um, and yeah, a lot of Omegas. I feel sometimes uh, when you experience a lot of things, and then you realize that the one watch or the one thing which makes sense, um, that's what the realization is. So for me, it is the Submariner. uh, if someone wants to possess one watch for their entire life, this is it. According to me, this is it. This is the watch to possess. This is the watch to own. If you just want one piece in your life, I'll give you the reasons. The first reason why this is the ultimate piece to have is how robust the piece is, how robust the Submariner is. It's ultimate. I mean, in terms of robustness, this is the ultimate piece. Of course, some people will argue with me saying G Shock. G Shock is the ultimate watch, and they are right. G Shock is the most robust piece, and they are right. This cannot be compared to a G Shock. You cannot throw this around and still expect the watch to be working. But let me just elaborate on what I'm saying. Tried and tested, tried and tested watch since the 1950s. You can wear it anywhere. You can wear it, you can sleep with it, you can shower with it, you can play sports with it, you can walk with it, you can run with it, you can do everything with it. Okay. You can also do everything with a G Shock on. But let me come to the other points why the sub is the only watch you ever need. Okay. 300 meters of water resistant capacity. So you can literally swim with it, go go in the ocean with it. and not worry. Okay, it's just a very robust piece. Okay, secondly, second, there are very few things in life which which appreciate over time and not depreciate. um, there are very few things. See, if you buy a car which is like 10,000, $15,000, and if you want to sell it after 10 years, I'm sure you won't get $10,000 for that. You'll get maybe 2,000 or $3,000. uh, except for property. Property is one of the things which appreciates in value over time. uh, what are the other things which appreciate? If you invest in uh, if you invest in the market like stocks or shares or equity, that those things appreciate in value. But if we talk about things, well made things, what are some well made things which appreciate? There's hardly anything which appreciates over time except for Rolex and maybe Patek Philippe. These are the only watch companies in the world which appreciate over time. A G-Shock, you buy a G-Shock, $100 G-Shock, yeah, sure, you can use it for 10 years. But when you want to sell it, you think you will get $100? No, you won't. So, so that's the second point why I think Rolex Submariner, especially, is the model to have, because they will not only hold their value but even appreciate over time. So this watch, if I sell it after 10 years, I'll get more than what I paid for the watch. Okay, the first point was robustness, second point is appreciation. Okay, and the third point is comfort. It is so comfortable to wear this watch, absolutely comfortable. Especially, I just want to stress on this, the glide lock. I'm not sure if you can see the glide lock. This is called the glide lock clasp. Okay, so what it means is you can adjust it, you can adjust the size on the go. So this is the glide lock clasp, so you can adjust it. I'll try and show you. There you go. See how I can see how I'm able to increase the size. I just increase the size, so you have this area to play about. You have this area to play about. Extremely comfortable on the wrist. So sometimes, you must have noticed, when you wear a watch and it's really hot outside, and your wrist swells up, and you want to loosen up the watch. In other watches there is no provision for glide lock. Of course, if you have a Omega Seamaster, there is a provision here which is a slightly different technique to the glide lock, wherein you can adjust the clasp. But the glide lock is, I think, the market leader when it comes to adjusting the length of the clasp. Okay, so that is the third point, comfort. Fourth point is how iconic the piece is. Fourth point is the history and how iconic the piece is. You go anywhere, um, I'm not saying everyone recognizes a sub, but people who are passionate do recognize, people who are into watches, they do recognize a sub. So that is the fourth point. You get a lot of recognition when you buy a Rolex sub. Can be a positive recognition, can be a negative recognition, but you do get a lot of recognition. The fourth point is Sorry, the fifth point is uh, Rolex watches, especially the sub and the other sports model like Daytona and GMT, they're like instant cash. So if you, for example, if you go overseas, if you wear this watch and go overseas, and if you're in a sticky situation, if you're in a difficult situation somewhere and you need cash, this is like instant cash. This is so recognizable anywhere in the world. You can just sell this at an instant and get cash, and that's your ticket, back to uh, catch on the flight back home. It is so recognizable. So yeah, some of the points I thought, I'll make a video on why, according to me, the sub is the most iconic watch, and why it is the watch to have. So, any other points if you have in your mind, please comment in the comment section below. Cheers, guys. Have a nice day. Okay, so the next point is I forgot to mention two more points, so I'm making this short video again. This bezel. Now, I'm not sure if people know how to use the bezel and how useful it is. People think this is only for diving. Of course, it was made specially for diving, but since I'm not a diver, but I use this bezel almost every day. I use it like 4 or 5 times every day. Every day I use the bezel. You can use it for timing your showers. You can use it for timing your boiling eggs. You can use it for timing while making tea or coffee. You can use it to keep a track on your walk. You can use it to keep a track on sports, your sport activity. You can keep a track on jogging or any outside activity, outdoor activity. There are so many uses for this bezel. It's not just a diving bezel. It can be used for so many activities that the other watches, if they don't have this, I think they are missing out. So it's a very useful activity, and it's a very nice sorry it's a very useful uh, what's it called useful feature. It's a very useful feature, and you can use it. See how I'm using it right now for making a video. So 3 minutes have passed almost, or 2 minutes have passed. So yeah, I mean, it's a very useful feature. Let me know in the comment section if you guys make use of the bezel on the Submariner. Okay, the next point is the date. So the date, it looks, we tend to ignore the date because all the watches have got dates. So we tend to, not take that complication into consideration. But just look at how easy it is to read the date. You keep it here at a distance, you can still see the date. It is so easy to read the date. So I think, so all these points which I mentioned, I think 6 7 points, that's the reason the sub is the best watch in the world. Date is there, the bezel is there, it's got a robust case, it's iconic, lot of history, it appreciates over time. So I mean, these are some of the best points where uh, where not all the watches have these points. So that is why I think the sub is the best. What do you guys think? Let me know. Cheers.